Dimitri and I have taken you all over the world with vaping. We've taken you to international shows, we've shown you the inside of Chinese manufacturing, we've shown you e-liquid production and even board manufacturing. But the one thing we haven't shown you is how you go from this to this. And today that changes here at VDLV.
Hi, I'm 𝗬𝗂𝗍𝗄. I'm the co-founder of VDLV and INNOKIN company with Vincent, my associate. We created this group in 2012 after 1 or 2 years of research. We create this company, we produce some liquids with natural flavor and some vapes flavor. With our company, we work to produce for the French market. In 2017, with the local institution, we start the production of nicotine. It is a new green chemistry program for the perfect nicotine production without toxic solvents, and we success and we produce the first liquids with this nicotine.
So this is really step one. These boxes come in, and these boxes are full of
yes,
tobacco.
Local
right?
tobacco leaves.
Okay, so all of this is all grown locally, right? This is all French tobacco.
Yes, it's a local partnership with the farmers who produce tobacco, and this tobacco is only produced for us because it's not the same tobacco than cigarettes. It's a little bit different because we need the more nicotine concentration inside.
Right, so this is a very, very high nicotine concentration.
Yes, this is it.
This is step one. Let's go find step two.
One.
Let's go see step two. All right, so here we are at step two. We already saw the whole leaf. Where does the whole leaf go? Where does it go?
This is a grinder, and we have to make the leaf into strips for the next operation, extraction.
Now, when I see these guys right here, you might think Breaking Bad. You might think Breaking Bad, or you might think Dimitri has very bad gas, but no, there's something else going on here. The ground up tobacco actually starts here over at it's like a screw conveyor belt. The screw conveyor belt goes up and it goes into one of these large vessels here. And this is actually where the extraction takes place.
So in this third step, we humidify the tobacco with a basis solution who allows the pH modification, and this pH modification allows the nicotine-free operation.
Okay.
So when the nicotine is free, we can cross this tobacco leaf with steam. The steam crosses this tobacco leaf and remove the nicotine. And after this operation, we produce a water with nicotine.
Okay, so here you're actually you're changing the pH of the tobacco.
Yes.
And you're adding a water, and you're also adding humidity.
Yes.
Okay, and then eventually, once you have it extracted, you steam it, and it's the steam that actually contains
exactly
the nicotine.
We produce a steam with nicotine, and after it's the step 4.
Okay, so here the nicotine extraction is complete; it's finished.
Yes.
And we have the used tobacco leaf coming out. Now, this is one thing that is very, very serious for you because nothing goes to waste.
No.
So this does not go to waste. You use this to create energy.
Yes. Actually, we work with a partner just near these units, and they extract the energy inside this tobacco, because tobacco is smoking very easy, of course.
Right.
And we want to produce in the future our bioenergy with that, and it's possible. We are working on that actually.
Okay, so I mean, this company really does care about the environment. you have basically you've created a new nicotine extraction process that is a cleaner process than what's being done elsewhere, and you try to reuse every bit of waste
Yes.
to create energy.
Exactly.
Right?
It's green chemistry for us, and green chemistry is the best energy, the best solvent we can use. Everything has to be reflected with. We push the reflection if there is impact or not for environment.
Okay. So here the vapors are coming in.
Exactly.
All right, and we have to condense it down back into a liquid.
Yes.
Right, and that happens in here.
Yes. We just modified the temperature, of course, and after the steam with nicotine is transformed to water with nicotine. It's very simple. No science, very complex science inside. It's very easy to produce. But after we have to use gravity filter for extracting the flavors, some impurity, and the goal of this operation is to qualify the water with nicotine, and after we calculate the volume before the next operation.
So the result of everything that just happened in the other room is this liquid right here.
Yes.
And the condensation is this liquid, and this liquid is only 1% nicotine at this point.
Yes, between 1 and 2%.
Okay.
And the hard work it's after.
Right, you said this is the easy part.
Yes, it's
now
very
we're gonna
easy.
Now we're going to get to the hard part.
Yes.
And it's the hard part that is going to get us from 1% to 100% or as close as possible.
Yes, it's more difficult, and our goal is to produce this pure nicotine only with green chemistry and don't use toxic solvents. This is a very nice project for us. It was a very nice project, for us, and with success.
Right, and that's where your patents are. The fact that you're creating this without using corrosive chemicals, but it's a green process.
Yes, and of course the yield is not perfect, but the intention is really correct.
Okay, well, let's go see the hard part.
Let's go.
So what you see here is my new coffee maker. It makes a delicious cappuccino, espresso, café long, and a lovely latte. All right, so obviously not a coffee maker, all right? Not a coffee maker, but I mean, this is really where the magic happens. This is where we go from the 1% liquid to something that we can actually use in an electronic cigarette product.
Yes, we are in this step. We are another sub-step, of course, but this one is very important. It's probably the start of our patent or expertise.
Sure.
This is resin colognes, and the water with nicotine cross these resins, and the nicotine can be catched by this resin for a few moments. And we just adjust this time, and at the end of the operation we can cross this resin with another acid solution, and this acid solution can catch and again this nicotine, but for chemical combination.
Okay.
And this chemical combination is like a salt of nicotine.
Okay.
But this salt of nicotine is a little bit different than the nicotine salt we know in vaping industry. It's not exactly the same.
So the nicotine water comes in here.
Yes.
And you have a resin in here that grabs the nicotine, but it only grabs it for a certain amount of time.
Yes, exactly.
And then once it has it, you use an acid to, I guess, rinse.
Yes.
Okay, and then we go to the next step. So again, I mean, this is your own process, right? And it took a lot of trial and error to get this right.
Yes.
Okay.
Just for this operation, we spend a lot of time to perfectly define the resin, the temperature, the pressure, and yes, it was a very long job for that.
And you've always been concerned about the green aspect of this,
of course,
right?
yes.
And what's the benefit of the green aspect?
Just the benefit is the first goal was don't use dichloromethane. Actually, the dichloromethane is the solvent used in the nicotine production, and it's very easy to produce nicotine with this product. But for the air, for the sea, for the earth, it's a really bad gas.
Okay, so we have the acid, we have the water, we have the nicotine. We come over here, what happens here?
Just for deconcentration of the water. We want to concentrate the acid with nicotine, and because the next operation and where appear the nicotine, it's here.
Okay, so we concentrate
Yes.
the acid and the nicotine.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
so
it.
we go in here. What happens in here?
Yes, we make like a yo-yo on the pH concentration.
Okay,
We
so you're putting a base in there, you're
Yes.
changing the pH, but you're actually making the pH
like
go
a
up
yo-yo.
and down, like
Yes.
a yo-yo. Okay.
Yeah, a yo-yo. And it's an exothermic reaction, and we obtain like oil and vinegar mix. It's
Okay.
like that. So we put the results into a decantation system. It's very easy. Only gravity works inside, and we can observe the raw nicotine and the alkaline wastes. The water with alkaline concentration, for us, it's like a waste, and we extract this waste and we stop just near the crown of nicotine, and this raw nicotine can be put inside the next operation.
Okay, so here the output of this is going in here, and basically it's just a gravity process.
Yes.
All the waste is just floating down to the bottom.
Yes.
You get rid of the waste, and what's left is ready to go to the next step.
Of course.
Okay, so now we have this. We've filtered out the waste, and we have this dirty-looking water. There's a lot of nicotine in there at this point, right?
Yes.
What happens after this?
After this, we put this raw nicotine inside this reactor. It's like a vacuum, space vacuum system, because we decrease the pressure to the space environment, and we have to adjust pressure, temperature for the nicotine extraction, the nicotine vaporization and condensation. It's the solution for pure nicotine extraction.
Okay, so we're creating a vacuum in here.
Yes,
Right,
everywhere. We put vacuum everywhere.
Okay. So in effect, because you're creating a vacuum, it's almost like you're boiling off all of the impurities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some waste are staying inside, and other waste are going to this water extraction.
Okay.
And when there is no drop inside, we know that it's time to just modify the temperature to 140 degrees, and at this moment we have the vaporization and liquefaction of the nicotine, and we have here pure nicotine between 99.6 and 99.8%.
So this is the actual product that can be used in making electronic cigarette e-liquid.
Exactly. We just broke the vacuum with nitrogen for oxide protection, and we never touch the nicotine, because in our e-liquid production, the cartridge is just plugged on our system, and never a guy can touch the nicotine.
I mean, it's so easy, a caveman can do it.
At the end of the operation, we just put the pure nicotine inside this cartridge, and we plug this cartridge inside our liquid production.
Okay, so I think one of the important things to point out here too is that at no point does the nicotine liquid come in contact with air.
Yeah, never.
Right? It's not like you have a barrel and you're opening up a faucet and it's pouring in the barrel and then you do it. It's always contained in some kind of a vessel.
Yes, with nitrogen.
Nitrogen.
Because,
right. So the nitrogen, you got pressure, so you can use the pressure to move the nicotine around.
yes, the nicotine is our vector fluid for that.
So remember this, because we're going to find out where this goes next. All right, so we have the canister. We have the canister of nicotine all ready to go. And that canister goes in here?
Yes, because we inject our nicotine inside PG concentration with nicotine into the black tanks, and we verify if we're sure to be at the good concentration.
And here again, once the nicotine is out of that canister, you're filling that canister with air, with nitrogen, with water. You're kind of flushing the canister out.
Yes, we plug all of the 4 bottles, 10 liters by bottles, and we inject nicotine, and we can push the nicotine inside the tanks, and automatically we have a cleaning system for neutralization of nicotine with water, nitrogen, drying, etc.
Okay, so down here you see where the final product gets mixed with PG and VG. Okay, and again, the nicotine never comes out of that bottle, so it's really never touched by human hands, or better yet, it's never seen by the air. It's never in an open air environment. So down here we start to actually pump the nicotine into the production room.
Yes.
And we're going to take a look at the giant vats of PG and VG that you have, and really the production room is right underneath where we're talking right now. And in the production room, you're making about, you said, about 1 million bottles a month.
Exactly. And for that, we can use our tobacco, and we produce our own nicotine. It depends on our needs, and we can accelerate the production if we want. And the starting for that is using bulks of tobacco, and everything is variable.
So you're really, I mean, it's really an end-to-end production. I mean, it's from the tobacco leaf to a finished product. And that's what we said at the beginning of this video, is that we wanted to show you how we get from the leaf to the e-liquid bottle. Now, one thing I think a lot of people will be interested in is, we saw the big box of tobacco leaves.
Yes.
Okay. Believe it or not, you don't squeeze it like a grape to get the nicotine e-liquid out. You saw the process. But how much liquid nicotine at 100% or close to 100% would you get out of a box of that leaf?
In a box, we can produce between 2 and 3 liters of nicotine. It represents 30,000 e-liquid bottles. 30,000.
So one box of leaf gives you about 30,000 bottles of
exactly.
e-liquid. So these are absolutely the largest containers of PG or VG that I've ever seen. What do these containers hold? What's the capacity?
Each container can contain 15,000 liters.
15,000 liters.
For 4 tanks for that, PG and VG.
Okay.
And we analyze the truck before delivery, and the laboratory analyze, and if it's okay, we open the valve and fill the recipe.
Okay, and these all get pumped into the e-liquid room.
Yes.
Via the pipes that we see here and the pipes up on the ceiling.
Yes, we have a network for that, and pressure inside the pipes, and when we need PG, we just open the valve and count the quantity.
Okay, and there's lights on the top of these vessels or containers. What do the lights mean?
The lights are for communicate visually if the tank is okay, and if it's full or empty, and we have a system for a perfect analysis the volume, and the laboratory analyze,
Very impressive facility.
Thank you.
We've seen just incredible work that you do here. Me and Phil are big proponents of tobacco harm reduction. You take it very, very seriously. You've created a monster, right? But everything that we have seen over the last decade that your company has done, what are you most proud of?
I'm very proud about the implication of our employees, because they understand exactly the possibility and the efficiency of the vaping practices. So they know that every day they wake up, go to the job, they say, today I have the possibility to save a life, to save 3 lives, 10 lives, etc. So we are very proud about that. It's an economical experience. We are not businessmen, we are technical and scientists, and we have to work with the marketing system, of course. But we are very proud about that ecosystem, and we produce other things with bio pesticide, bio energy, etc. So it's like a dream for me and for Vincent, because when we start this experience, we just want to make the experience free and accessible for others. And actually we are touching the subjects of the future, because we have to join all of the energy for things that mean better future for smokers, of course, but for our child.
Absolutely. When we look into the future of the vaping industry, we're constantly under scrutiny from regulators. We're constant pressure from lawmakers and the anti-public health that's fighting vaping. What do you believe, in your opinion, and your company's opinion, is how do we move into the next decade of vaping? How do we move into the future and continue to offer this product as an alternative to smokers?
We have to build a lot of knowledge, because it's not easy to understand whether you are a smoker or whether you are an institution. We have to confirm that vaping is the perfect solution, with pleasure, with a lot of things. I think regulatory need to spend the minimum of time for understand, and for that we have to discuss together with the institution, and we have to cross the minds of all of country. And it's difficult, because in USA the practices are different than in Europe, and in Germany, in Spain, it's not the same practices. So we have to communicate, and I really thank you for make this message possible, because probably a deputy president somewhere can understand what we want to do. We are saving life.
Sure.
And the future is okay, because we can't stop the progress. We just have to prepare the way for understanding, and I'm sure everybody is working very hard for that. But I have a message. I would like to say to other companies or the competitors that they have to invest in science, because you can't say it's perfect, it's perfect, it's perfect. So if you don't verify what you are meaning, what you are trying to say, science is a perfect equation for that.
The easier way that science, and what we believe is the easiest way to do that is to collaborate. Putting your resources together. One thing I noticed here, you kept saying yesterday and today, is open source, open source, open source.
Open source every time, but for that everybody needs to be curious, because in our country, when media is speaking about vaping, they never speak about French behaviors. They speak about USA problems, concern, etc. So, it's very easy to understand what is vape. Vape is just generate a vapor for inhalation, and if all of these parameters are understand, everybody knows, and everybody will be okay with this position. I think innovation is probably the key for more facility in these practices. I know the engagement of all of competitors, but actually medias have to read the paper, and not only the title.
Yeah.
They have to read the end of the article. I hope the article is right with sincerity. But I think it's not a dream. It's just reality, and people have to observe what is reality in vaping practices.
Yeah, and I think we have to put our efforts behind it as well too. Me and Phil always say the perfect electronic cigarette has not been invented yet. Because if the perfect electronic cigarette was invented, nobody would be smoking, right?
Yes, probably, but it's like glasses. On dit glasses?
Yes, glasses.
Yes, it's like glasses on your nose, because if you haven't the perfect glasses, you can see everything,
yes.
And we have to adjust. And it's a very nice industry, because we have consumers, okay, they are attending a lot of answers. We have the vape shops and the professional of the distribution, and they are be able to explain what exactly the smokers need for stopping tobacco, and the producer are really invest for that. I'm very positive when I'm looking far away in the future. I think we can stop the tabagism with with vaping, just we have to be together.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. A very impressive facility. As a consumer, as a vapor for the last 10 years, to me it's important to know what I inhale into my body. And you know, when you visit a facility like this and you see, you know, all the work that goes into it, the science that goes into producing the final bottle that I'm going to take from here and I'm going to vape, I feel a little bit more confident as a consumer. And we need to have that education. One of the purposes of shooting this video is to educate more the consumer and ask those questions to your manufacturers as well too. So with full confidence, Charlie, I can tell you, me and Phil, thank you for the hospitality. Thank you for the education. We learned a lot. And thank you for at least leading the way in a market that desperately needs this type of operation to continue to grow. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We are very proud to receive you in our country.
And thank you for the wine last night. Excellent choice. Very good wine.
A Bordeaux wine.
Bordeaux wine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.